Howdy, I hope you're having a great day. Silver Trade here again with another video. A late night kind of video because stuff just keeps coming out. And really quickly, thank you guys so much for getting my last couple of videos to over 200 likes. I can't even believe it every time I look at it. Breaking, Buck is no longer following Greg on Twitter. This has to be a countdown. He is only following GME at this point. He was following more people before this, and people say it could be a countdown because maybe it's going 3, 2, and then now we're at 1. He also added this cryptic line of letters and numbers onto his profile. And when you look at his new profile pic, the background photo on Twitter, enhance the photo and then flip it, it shows you what looks to be like Buck holding some plans, or maybe a black swan. I don't really see it as a black swan though, but maybe. And if we take that cryptic line of letters and numbers and throw it into base 64 decoder, it gives us Buck is in a third dimension. On GameStop's website, and this is recent, how to claim Buck as a playable avatar in the Kiraverse. Each Buck season NFT comes with the utility of unlocking Buck the Bunny as a playable avatar in the Web3 game Kiraverse. To activate this utility, simply create a Kiraverse account at Kiraverse game, blah 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 blah, and then you can play Buck the Bunny inside of that game. Looks like GameStop's getting serious about NFTs again, which is a really easy way for a company to just print money out of thin air. Kiraverse offers multiple competitive game modes, Battle Royale, Elimination Free-for-all, Point Control, and 1v1. Players can unlock in-game achievements and own, purchase, or rent characters, skins, weapons, and more to enhance their gameplay experience. It seems like Kiraverse is going to be the new age Entropia universe. And for those of y'all who don't know, that is a video game where 10 of the in-game currency would equal $1 US. And people would actually make money off of this video game way back in the day. One player, John Jacobs, aka Never Die, bought a virtual asteroid nightclub in the video game for 100,000 real dollars. He turned that club into Club Never Die, where players could mine, hunt, and party. The club generated real income through taxes and player activities. Jacobs later claimed to have made over $500,000 or $500,000, possibly over $1 million after selling it in parts. I've been wondering when a new game like this would come out, and it seems like that's going to be Kiraverse. People can own assets in Kiraverse and then rent them out and potentially make real money, just like this guy did way back in the day. And then these assets are going to be backed by NFTs and Ethereum. And remember, the only reason that we're talking about Kiraverse is because GameStop on their website mentions it. Right here. But people could make money in this game by renting their skins or characters, owning property, competing with each other, or creating an economy. And if you've never heard about this Club Never Die from Entropia Universe, it is super interesting and a great YouTube video to watch. The dude buys a nightclub in the video game and then charges people to come inside of it. How cool is that? And it's about time that we get a new game that is similar to that idea. Happy anniversary to DFV's injury stream that was heavily manipulated. I think they paused it like 23 or 33 times in that one day, or halted it. Just a few days ago, when the SPY gapped way down, GameStop gapped way up at the exact same time. Somebody's back to selling a ton of $120 puts for GameStop expiring on January 26th. Yesterday, max pain for GameStop was $29, but now max pain is at $30. People are starting to catch on that Buck the Bunny is 38 years old, and so is Roaring Kitty, but not a lot of people have noticed that this poster looks exactly like the one from Breaking Bad. I wonder what that could mean. We talked way back in the day about how Roaring Kitty might be Greg, and it seems like there's a lot more people warming up to that idea. And institutional ownership for GameStop has never been higher, and I love that we can keep saying that week after week. And if you wouldn't mind, please hit that like button. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support recently. I really appreciate it. I spend a lot of time trying to find the absolute best content and best information for y'all, and y'all really make it all worth it for me. So thank you so much. Roaring Kitty has really been shaking the bushes recently, and I think this is a sign that we're going to see him come back any day now. But that does not mean go out and just YOLO on some calls. And please remember, none of this is financial advice and we are not financial advisors, and this video is made for entertainment purposes only. When we look at GameStop on the chart, it looks like sell volume is drying up, but it really stinks to see the MACD bearishly crossing on the daily chart. The 1 hour and the 4 hour are looking pretty bearish, but we're just going to have to see how the rest of the week goes. And on the daily as well, GameStop fell below the 5-day moving average, or this pink line right here. Until you start drawing some lines on your chart, we'll make this line pink to be cute. Over the last couple of months, every time that GameStop touches this pink line, it has a pretty substantial bounce. It had some trouble getting through the $29 support or resistance line. For a while, $29 acted as a very strong resistance. In recent history, when GameStop got through that $29 resistance, it ran all the way up and touched the giant Dorito of death. And then the banks quickly slapped it down, making sure that it would get below $29 per share again. But now GameStop is riding this purple line above $29 per share, recently had a strong sign of strength, and it really looks like it's wanting to get outside of this Dorito of death, or the white line. The Dorito of death is this giant white line that GameStop has been stuck under for almost 5 years. Whenever GameStop broke out of this white line, it had a large gap up just from the excitement. And on the weekly, GameStop is still holding above the 5-day moving average, which is great to see, which means we're still in bull territory. And really quickly, Wolf ran almost 16% today with another 2% in the after hours. Wolf speed broke above the 5-day moving average on the daily chart, and the last time that Wolf speed was this low on the chart was back in 1998. They have been hammered, especially with Trump saying he didn't like the CHIPS Act. But with Trump's new plan of the Golden Dome, his administration is going to come around to funding the semiconductor companies of America once again. But as it stands right now, the CHIPS funding is off the table. Cash on hand, they have about $1.3 billion, but they're in about $6.5 billion worth of debt. This is because they just spent $5 billion building a new factory to produce even higher quality chips, which is expected to start production in 2025. And so Wall Street Journal had an article saying that Wolfspeed was getting ready for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They also had an article about how Tesla was looking to replace Elon Musk. Both of these are lies. That's why Wolfspeed fell all the way back here from $3 down to 70 cents in one day. Wolfspeed came out just a couple of days ago and they denied the bankruptcy rumors, especially while Japan is in talks to buy a whole bunch of US chips. Japan is reportedly offering to buy up to $7 billion worth of US semiconductors. Wolfspeed's largest customers are Lucid Motors, General Motors or GM, ST Microelectronics, Nissan and Mitsubishi, Tesla, and ZF Friedrichshafen, which is a German auto group. And rumor has it that Wolfspeed's SiC optics will change the world with Meta's new augmented reality glasses. I'm personally really excited about these AR augmented reality glasses. I mean, who needs a phone when you can make all of your phone calls and have a tiny little screen inside of the glasses you're wearing? The easiest way for Meta to do this is by using Wolfspeed's technology. Recently, Meta and Anduril just announced a partnership on virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality AR projects intended for the US Army. In consumer electronics, it might be the most advanced thing we have ever produced as a species. Silicone chips can start glowing red under load, and then a cooling fan is needed to keep them cool. While SiC chips stay cooler, maybe they need a small heat sink, but no fan needed. The old inverters with silicone are big metal boxes, lots of wires, fan, and heat. With the SiC inverters, they're more sleek, compact, lighter, and higher efficiency, so longer range. And once Tesla starts mass producing autonomous semi-trucks, that will be huge for Wolfspeed, especially because Tesla is already one of their largest customers. They waste less power, less cooling is needed, more compact, and on top of all of this, they're more reliable under extreme temperatures. Wolfspeed has 155 million shares outstanding. And it looks like institutions own 165 million shares. So institutions might own the entire float. I just wanted to show you all this because this is a company I'm paying very close attention to. And if Trump comes out and says that he's got a new plan for the CHIPS Act, or he's increasing the CHIPS Act in some way, I'm going to be one very happy ape. But thank you so much if you made it this far in the video. I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, please hit that like button if you're enjoying my content. It really means the world to me. But thank you so much, and God bless you.